Hi, my name is Amanda Rivera, and I'm here with Forethought Marketing to talk about titled Beautification and Normalization in Eloqua. Now, title beautification and normalization are two very different things. On one hand, we have title beautification, which is the process of making your titles more beautiful or easier to read. As you can see in the first example that we have up here, is we have the abbreviated text for Senior Marketing Director. And then we also have VP Sales Operations, which is Vice President Sales Operations. Now, title normalization is about categorizing large quantities of titles into 5 or 10 values. For example, we have Senior Marketing Director, and the job level could be Director, whereas the job role would be Marketing. For Vice President Sales Operations, using the same example as above, we have job level being the Vice President and the job role being Sales. So beautification, it's useful for making title field merges and also eliminating abbreviations, and even it can be used as a pre-process to start your job title normalization. Job title normalization, on the other hand, it's useful for segmentation and personalization of your emails. On the next example, we have a list of social media titles, which can all be grouped into social media, for example, as a job role. So why is title normalization so important? Well, for B2B type of companies, title normalization is one of the top 3 most important items that you can segment on. Added to that, we have industry and also funnel stage. However, these will vary from company to company. And title normalization is usually one of the first data cleansing projects that companies go through. And the reason for that is because clean data is actually the gas or the motor for any marketing automation system. Title normalization can highly impact your dynamic content. So think about when you're creating an email in Eloqua. You have a single email, and that email has a paragraph that dynamically changes based on your target audience. So in the example that we have here, we have a technical paragraph, oriented for the CTOs. We have a financial justification paragraph that may be targeted for CFOs. Title normalization could also be the driver for your nurture campaigns. So when you're creating your campaigns in Eloqua, now with a normalized title, you will be able to differentiate between track 1, 2, and 3, and so forth. So for example, we have a healthcare for CXOs or VPs track. We might have another track for people from California who are execs in the IT department, or we can also have a marketing track focused around directors and managers. Lastly, title normalization can also impact your lead scoring. So when you're coming up with your criteria for scoring, I'm pretty sure title is one of your top priorities out there. And you want to make sure that you have something that you can segment on, something that you can even score on. And that's where title normalization becomes highly relevant. As you can see, we have thousands and thousands of possibilities for job titles, and finding them and categorizing them could be a very time-consuming task. What you need to remember is that you need to focus around creating 5 or 10 different criteria, and those criteria will be saved in 2 different fields. They are, for example, as we see here, job level, and job level is referring to how high a person is within a company. Here you can find CXOs, directors, managers, workers, or specialists. And we also have job role. So job role, it's about the department that a person works in. For example, administration, manufacturing, operations. However, both job levels and also job roles will vary from company to company. If we were to look at these from an organizational chart perspective, you will see how job level actually goes across the screen. So these are all of the levels that your company may have. Here, on the other hand, we have job role, where job role, it's shown in a vertical manner, and you can see all of the different departments. Now, job level and job role, again, will vary from company to company. When you combine the 2 together, this is where you really obtain the value and power of doing title normalization, because now you can start using this data or all of these different categories for segmentation. When you get started with the data washing machine program, what you want to do is to initially pass your entire database through it. And this data washing machine program will categorize or will divide your data so that it goes into a job level and also job role. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that fields should not be lost. So the field job title should actually be kept in its original location. It's a best practice for you to do that. And the reason for that is you want to make sure they're there so that it can be used for later field merges. And also, people like to be called by their own titles. Salespeople, on the other hand, will also find this information extremely useful when talking to their prospects. Title normalization, though, it's highly recommended when doing automated processes like territory assignment, segmentation, and lead scoring. When coming up with your title normalization model, you want to make sure you have your segmentation and your marketing goals in mind. If you need some help establishing them, Forethought Marketing can definitely help you in that arena. Also, if you require any sort of customization, for example, if you were to need international titles, we can also accommodate for that as well. International titles become highly important because, for example, in the United States, people might be called CEO or president, whereas in the UK, people might be referred to as executive directors. International or multi-language title normalization is something that will definitely be of your interest if your company caters to various regions or it's a worldwide company. Now, one thing to remember is that this type of normalization, it's very much like the regular title normalization. However, it is driven by the country field. So here you have to have in mind what percentage of your database is based on different languages and also the quality of your country field. However, we highly recommend this type of project for a phase 2 since it requires a lot more customization. Once you've completed implementing your data washing machine and running your initial database through it, you want to make sure you maintain it. And what we recommend is 1 or 2 hours a quarter where you go in and identify any job titles that did not make it through the data washing machine process and making sure that you add those in there. So as you see, title normalization is highly important. However, it's time consuming and it requires expertise. And here at Forethought Marketing, we have a pre-existing database of thousands of titles that you can match on. Additional to that, we have the expertise. We've done dozens of title normalization projects, including CyberSource, a Visa company. So we've done this for large, multi-billion-dollar companies with very high complexity, high degree of customization, and larger budgets. However, we've also done this for smaller companies with much less budgets and also less customization needed. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave you with 3 more videos that I'm sure will be of your interest. And if you're ready to talk, go ahead and give us a call. Our number is 888-Eloqua4.